Inphi is a standout in the semiconductor sector, with shares more than doubling from a short-term bottom in late March. But Inphi's impressive stock performance and fundamental strength extend beyond the recent coronavirus rally. Here with me now to provide an inside look at the factors contributing to the company's impressive growth story is Inphi CEO Ford Tamer. Thanks for being here today, Ford.
Thank you for having me, Alissa.
So for 6 quarters in a row now in particular, Inphi has delivered notable earnings and sales gains. And the March 2020 quarter was a beat and raise quarter with a high level of growth. So what has enabled the company to deliver the strong gains that you're seeing right now?
Thank you, Alissa. So we are in the bandwidth business. And for the past few years, we've been growing the company very fast, never bet against bandwidth growth. And in this latest COVID-19 crisis, we've seen the bandwidth demand accelerate. And in order to give your listener a bit of a better understanding, let me take a step back and give you a bit of an overview of Inphi. We are in the data movement business, moving data between different applications. So fundamentally, data movement interconnect highways that move data with analog, DSP, and optics type of components between digital islands, which are CPU, GPU, switches, NIC cards, storage. In a way, think of us as the FedEx for data. So the same way FedEx moves packages in the physical world, we move data in the electronic world. So we've got planes, trains, and trucks. Our planes are long-haul metro interconnect that move data over thousands of kilometers, very long distances, under oceans, under desert, extreme weather condition, very long distances. Our trains move data between data centers. So tens of kilometers, up to hundreds of kilometers between data centers. And our trucks are the last mile, if you wish, inside data center, moving data as little as a few meters, all the way up to 10 kilometers inside large cloud data center environments. And so all of the trends that we're seeing today are helping increase that data movement needs, and hence growing our business very fast.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit more about those trends. You said never bet against bandwidth. And with the coronavirus, we've seen a huge increase in the demand for bandwidth from the stay-at-home surge and these new habits formed along with that. So can you talk to us a little bit more about those trends you're seeing this year so far in particular and how they're impacting the business?
Fundamentally, this whole movement of from home, whether it's work from home, collaborate, play, socialize, learn, stream, look at virtual events from home, shop from home, has created a number of new virtual experiences, a number of new applications that are driving demand. And you've seen many of these applications report very large increases in bandwidth, very large increase in number of users that are jumping on those applications. One of the recent example, the Eastern concert by Andrea Bocelli, 2.8 million users watching it live, 28 million within 24 hours. New movies being released digitally before being released in movie theater. All the video conferencing system reporting very large increase in bandwidth. Netflix having to turn off the high definition in Europe to be able to have the bandwidth cope within the networks. Telemedicine taking a huge increase, where some hospitals reporting going from thousands of people a year to thousands a day. Tremendous increase in all of the new applications digital, and we're not seeing that stop. We do believe that as we get through that crisis, we will see still a lot of those applications continue. As an example, we've got some of our customers reimagining the factory environment, calling it now Factory 2.0, where they'd like to see more control, more automations. All of the bandwidth that is needed for video streaming. Networks today are not designed for video, multiplayer gaming, all designed for one-way traffic. So you're going to see a lot of this data movement interconnect being reimagined and driving the bandwidth business in the future.
Looking at the future, talk to us a little bit more about how these longer term trends that are playing out, as you mentioned, they go beyond just what we're seeing currently with the coronavirus. So how does that impact your business outlook?
So from our business outlook, we've got three segments that we focus on: the inside data center segment, the between data center segment, and the long haul, metro long haul telecom type of segment. On the inside data center segment, we have a product called Pulse Amplitude Modulation, or PAM. It's a DSP, or digital signal processor, that we sell along with our optic solution platform. And so we sell this PAM platform, which in summary, instead of moving data as 0 and 1 that we've been doing for the past 40 years, for the first time, you're moving now data at 4 levels of modulation, so 0, 1, 2, 3, allowing you to pack twice as many bits per optical symbol than you would able to do before. So inside data center, we're seeing a huge change from 0 and 1 for the past 40 years to PAM for the next 10 to 20 years. And that's a trend that's just getting started, that's going to help us grow the inside data center business for major cloud customers in the US and worldwide. The second trend is between data centers, where the major service providers are trying to link those data center as one giant data center. So think about, for example, in the Bay Area, Oakland, San Francisco, San Jose, Santa Cruz, all having data centers and all being linked with this digital highway as one giant data center. We've got a new application called ZR. ZR stands for 120 kilometer. And so we provide these highways, if you wish, that are 120 kilometer apart, and we can link those data center 120 kilometer apart as if they're one giant data center. So if you want to have application like artificial intelligence, e-commerce, recommendation engines, Facebook tagging billions of images per day, we could throw a whole number of data center at the problem, being a lot more efficient. And finally, on the telecom, we're seeing a big revolution coming in on 5G. 5G is going to be a large growth vector, and we're participating in this 5G in our telecom sector. So 3 sectors, a lot of growth vectors over the next few years that we're very excited about.
And of the 3, which one do you think presents the biggest near-term opportunity for the business?
So the inside data center upgrade has started last year in 2019, is accelerating this year, and will continue to accelerate over the next few years. But the inside data center business started this year. The 5G, same, starting this year in China, but we believe US and other Western geography will start next year and again accelerate. And finally, the between data center, or this virtual linking those data center 120 kilometer apart as one giant data center, starts next year and really accelerates into 2022. So we've got quite a few growth vectors that are going to be playing out over the next few years.
Yeah, definitely sounds like it. And with these trends playing out over the next couple of years, how are you future-proofing your business, so to speak, to keep up with all of these technological innovations that are fueling demand for increased data movement that you're talking about?
So we are the leader today in this data movement interconnect. We've got a very solid 65+% market share in the markets in which we play. So as a result, we're growing top line very fast, but we also have a commitment to invest in R&D to continue to open up a gap between us and the competition. So where R&D is 31% of revenue today, in 2020, just to give you a feel, we'd be investing $190 million in this R&D for our sector, which for this sector is a large amount. Writing all the latest and greatest process technology and packaging technology to help us continue to be in the leadership position. In this environment, supply chain is very important. So we're working with all our supply chain partners to ensure that in this difficult COVID-19 situation, we have the supply chain very solid and have contingency plans in place, working with our partners worldwide to deliver the solutions to our customer and not have interruption of supply. In addition to organic growth, which we're hiring quite a few people, we've also had a history of acquiring and being successful in integrating those acquisitions. So in 2014, we acquired a company called Cortina. The stock at the time was around $14. Then 2.5 years ago, we acquired a company called Clarify, and the stock at the time was in the low 40s. Earlier this year, we closed an acquisition of a company called eSilicon when the stock was in the 80s. And you could see that every acquisition has added some very key talent and very key technologies to Inphi and helped us to continue to grow. And we've been successful at not only organically growing and investing and showing a good return on investment for our investors, but also and integrating some of these new acquisitions into the family.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like a combination of these industry trends that you're seeing, fueling growth, the acquisition. You mentioned R&D spend, leading market share. So a lot of great things going on. But we do have this backdrop right now of COVID-19, and it's been an incredibly challenging time for many companies across many industry groups. And from a management perspective, how have you been able to take the challenges here and find opportunities for your business? I know you mentioned supply chain being an issue, but how have you been able to pivot and grow, especially during this time in particular?
Yeah, great question, Alissa. It's a very difficult situation. We've seen it happen in January 1st when we had to shut down our offices in China. We had an office in Wuhan, and we were having a gathering of all our sales force. We typically do this, and early in the year we had to cancel it. So we had an early view of the situation and started ordering material in January, well ahead of where some of the bottleneck happened, and this really helped us. And we've been following it up in all the different countries in Asia, then in Europe, and then finally the US and South America and Canada and the countries in which we operate. And we've actually done a good job at all employees going home and working very efficiently remotely. We actually measure productivity of employees, and we're finding out that employees are actually more productive in some cases working from home. And so we've successfully migrated to work from home. We've successfully been able to work with our supply chain partners around the world to ensure supply. At the same time, we are very mindful of the difficulties of the situation around us in the community in which we live. So we gave a set of donations. The first set of donation in the first quarter, calendar quarter of this year, were focused on medical and healthcare type of initiatives. And the second quarter of this year, our donations migrated to hunger. And so we identified organizations around the world, and that's in the blog on our website, to which we donated focus on hunger. And we're now actually, because of our, again, diverse workforce around the globe, shifting and looking to donate and contribute to organizations that are going to be focused on diversity in the STEM type of education worldwide. So continued focus on not just our employees and our partners and our customers, but also on the communities in which we serve, and be a good citizen as well.
All right, Ford. Well, congratulations on all the success at Inphi, and thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me, Alissa. Thank you.